Hey guys, welcome back for another video from Jomo and Kyle. Today we're going to talk about the new and latest updates to Halo Infinite and our thoughts on it. So I got my boy here, Kyle, coming in from the side of the Forge. He's going to tell us a little bit more about Forge.
I see you're repping the UNSC jacket.
Oh yeah, you noticed about this? Yeah, you can actually win this if you play the battle pass for the next 10 years.
What about the patches though?
Well, they're coming in, and I gotta you gotta beat every season pass, and then I gotta pay a little fee to have them shipped in, and then I gotta stitch them in myself. But
or get grandma to embroider them.
Well, yeah, she's gonna help me out.
Yeah. So for those watching, we're both Halo fans. We're pretty hardcore. We like Halo. We like Halo 5, you might say.
Yeah.
So our opinion will be unique on this matter. We're not gonna we're gonna try and comment on all the updates as Infinite becomes a real game slowly over the next months or years or decade until it's finally content complete. We have an upload schedule, so don't expect them to be right as news breaks, but we'll hopefully get to all updates eventually.
Well, you might say that we have a sort of a work in progress roadmap.
Yes. Or even a roadmap, two roadmaps, with roadmaps within.
You might say we've learned from the best.
So the Halo Infinite roadmap for the, it's no longer season 3 is there, but it's on the horizon yet again. Now we're looking at the winter update followed by season 3, which makes season 3, I believe, season 2 9 months.
They gotta say something, I guess, but. Man, it might sound good to not say anything at this point.
Well, 9 months in real life is 3 seasons, real. That's why we call them seasons, because they're quarterly, or should be.
Yeah, plan to be.
So
Could be.
Obviously there's development issues.
Definitely.
We're critical of the game, but I think we both agree there's potential. We don't hate the idea of Halo Infinite. We just hate what's been done so far.
Chances are we're gonna keep playing it. Yeah. Regardless of how crappy it is, unless the core gameplay changes drastically for some reason. But, it's fun. Mm-hmm. There's just lots and lots of room for improvement that just they're not there yet.
It's not even room for improvement. It's room for content. It's room for anything. You could put crappy content in there, then there's room for improvement.
Yeah.
There's just space to spare, for lease.
It's like on an assignment, you just didn't do what I asked you to do.
Yeah,
it should be there, so that's why you didn't get full marks.
Well, I gotta mention the one Twitter comment I saw was that this is not a roadmap that a traditional roadmap. It's they're watching the game be developed in real time. Yeah. It's once we're at we should just put a bet is it gonna be season 8, season 9? When is it gonna be I don't want to say Halo Reach content. When's it gonna be Halo 4 content?
Well, hey, send an estimate right now. When do you think that's gonna be?
Season.
What year?
No, year. We don't.
But
we don't
season could be extended to a year.
That's fair enough.
Seasons don't. The word doesn't mean anything anymore. It's at least with time, we could at least all agree that hey, it's been 1 year. It's has it been a year of development?
Let's say 2025 is my guess. Early 2025, we'll have a complete Halo Infinite, at least to what any other Halo game should reasonably launch with.
Okay.
Desync won't be fixed, but the game will be complete.
So the newest thing we heard about was Forge, and frankly, I'm not that familiar with Forge.
Wait, you're jumping ahead here, man. Forge is the light at the end of the tunnel. Granted, we're recording this after the winter update, season 3 video, and the first of we're promised multiple Forge videos. So first, we want to comment on the roadmap.
Okay,
I would say, and granted, Forge was on there. You're right. That's winter update, early November, we're getting Forge.
What's this winter update exactly? What's that?
So winter update is
in there or something?
No.
Wait, oh.
New maps? Not really.
Well, what is it? Is it an update or what is it? Just a time where we check in?
Winter update is we're not going to reach our goals for season 3, so we're giving you a mini season. And that sounds like an okay compromise, and everything sounds fine on paper. Forge is the good thing. It's a Forge beta. No one expected a full Forge launch. I don't think.
No one expected it.
It's true. But
what a surprise! Something.
So, I think Forge is great. It's going to give people a lot to play with. The issue is they're not launching the file browser, custom file browser, until Season 3 in March.
So they get to make stuff, but they can't. We can't use it.
You can play it with your friends in the custom games, which still aren't functional.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. We haven't done many custom games ourselves, so I guess we'll see once Forge launches just how bad they are.
That could be fun for us because we have a group of between like 4 to close to 8 people that play. So then that could be fun for us. But a lot of people don't have like friends that they maybe can just get together like that many and then let's play some 2-on-2. Maybe
there's 2 ways of looking at it. Like launching Forge early definitely gives creators more time to create stuff. So even if File Browser did launch with Forge, the early stuff would be fun, crazy, goofy stuff, but you wouldn't really get quality work right away. Granted, some people can do miracles and build real great stuff real quick in Forge, but leaving a little bit of time is not too bad. It's the fact that it's like another 3 months.
That's a good point because it gives time for them to work on their projects, and then by the time they'll be able to share it, they'll be around the time when they're done.
This is, again, assuming we hit our marks on the roadmap. They say Custom File Browser is coming out in March.
See, that's but
is it?
This is like a very unhealthy relationship with a friend or your partner where you can't trust them now. Their word hasn't really been trustworthy.
Well,
they count on their word, and whatever reasons that might be.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is now they've lost maybe some people's trust.
They need
to work at regaining that.
I've been a pretty solid 343 fan since them taking over the franchise. I love Halo 4 to death. Halo 5 eventually, I liked that launch well enough. I admit it was scant. It eventually became the game it needed to be with all the content. And it came quick. Within a year, I think it was pretty much what you expect from Halo.
Well, we played it for 6 years straight. We played it from the beginning when it launched to when Halo Infinite came. And I struggled to keep people playing Halo 5 just a little longer, but that didn't work out. But
I'm a fan of the newest experience. I feel like if Halo 5 is still looming over me, I can't fully commit to Infinite. And Infinite deserves a chance. We're giving it. We're giving it a chance.
We're giving it. I mean, like, most nights are fun, but, like, here's just a minor complaint. We play, 10, 20 matches. No Slayer rank. Not one game of Slayer that whole night.
And that is not something that's on the roadmap, but I don't know.
I'm sorry, that's not on the roadmap.
I don't know if that's something they would put on a roadmap because they have just given us, modes. Like, we just got ranked doubles and there was really no fanfare surrounding, just kind of popped out of nowhere. So it's very possible. They did say more ranked playlists are coming, so we could be looking at ranked Slayer before then.
How many maps do we have in ranked, though?
Enough for now. And Forge does open up opportunities. With the winter update, we're getting 2 new maps, 1 arena, 1 big team battle. Fortunately, Forge maps, which isn't necessarily bad, but not as exciting as a...
I get the feeling we're being climatized here. Like, where we're kind of getting used to little. So, and we've had it for so long, and it's, Halo fans are very committed. They love the franchise. I like the franchise a lot. I don't. If there's another Halo game coming out, I'm probably going to give it a shot.
There are fans who hate Halo 4 and hate Halo 5 and still want the next one to be the one they want, and that's commitment.
Yeah, because you.
That's almost a decade of games they haven't enjoyed, and they're still here waiting.
And I think those games will be more appreciated as time goes on. Frankly.
Well, we've already seen it happen.
Because even when I played Halo 4 the first time, I felt a little like, oh, this was it. Then Halo 5 came out. And then I was like, wow, Halo 4 is great. And then Halo Infinite came out. And I thought, oh, wow, Halo 5 is great. Because it seems like the quality is slowly been going down, unfortunately. But we're talking mainly about the online experience, and that's it, just the online experience.
Well, we're talking specifically today about the roadmap.
Yeah.
Because I was about to talk, man. The worst thing on the roadmap. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Match XP. It's a bad thing that has to be on the roadmap, and it's beta. This is giving points for finishing a match based on how well you do. It's not coming out for another 2 months, and even then, they're not sure they're going to get it right. So it's going to launch in beta, which just, to me, that summarizes the absolute dire condition we're in here, where it's like, that's something worth mentioning.
So just so that I understand, the XP is on beta, meaning that they're not sure how much they want to give
Yeah,
and
I think
it might change.
it's not totally unrealistic to say, oh, maybe we're going to be too generous or not generous enough. Because even when the game launched, Battle Pass progression was really slow. And they adjusted that with the... because they couldn't find a way to give us XP, since it's still in beta, they basically hardwired in like these like challenges that are just complete a match that would constantly refresh. So this is a solution to that. They might even get rid of those at this point.
Now I'm kind of talking about something a little different. Do we have any like word of where we're getting some type of like long-term rank or progression bar of some kind that extends past seasons?
I think they mentioned something like that, but that was more of a distant goal. Because there's the way they broke up this video. There was like the winter update. There was like the season 3 official, which was a little more vague. And then there was also like they kind of outlined in a very corporate, like almost like lifeless, soulless commercial way what their like focus group testing has given them and what people want from Halo.
It's like the video was really meant for someone who's a part of the team developing the game or had some association with like the business side of things, because this is gotta be the most boring video. I didn't finish it.
It's like an investors meeting or something.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you watch something from Nintendo, it's like, hey, this is what's coming out, this is how much it costs, this is what you can expect, and it's like in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, this was like 22 minutes or half an hour of like, oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah, hey. It's like it's like they're trying to fill in time here.
Well,
Filler.
And I feel bad because they roll Joseph Staten, right? Joseph Staten, and he basically just has to say like, split screen ain't happening. Go home. And it's like, poor guy, because they know Halo fans like him.
Yeah.
He's been there since the beginning. He's like the Halo guy. So he might as well rip off the Band-Aid because, okay, I don't personally care about split screen, but I know people do. And it's more importantly, they sold the game it's going to have. They said it's going to have it. Bonnie Ross, head of 343 at the DICE conference, has said, we have made a mistake. We will never make this mistake again.
And it's so sad, because it doesn't even matter. They can lie right to you and then just carry on, and guess what? We're going to buy it.
So bold-faced, too, because it's like they say this, like, they're just like, okay, this ain't happening. They drop this bomb, and they got nothing good, though. To like, there's no cherry, really, to come up and like, okay, well, don't worry, we're giving you this.
The resources we would have used on that are going to be used to do the thing that isn't coming out yet.
Well, we're gonna like cut that out so we have more time to do kind of the other stuff we promised to do, which is still the bare minimum for any live service.
Oh man, they might as well just not like. No, I don't know what they should do, but it's almost it's not helping them to keep talking. They want to talk less.
Well, but then people are asking for more communication, right? So it's like, I guess they're being honest, they're being transparent. They're saying, like, we're cutting this feature because we don't have the resources or the time to work on that and fulfill our other duties.
Yeah. Now, mind you, I just want to say something here, just briefly. I don't know all the inner workings as to why this is happening. I'm just a consumer on the outside of the business looking in and commenting just from this point of view. Like, there could be a lot of legit reasons. If we knew the whole story, maybe we'd have a different view. But as a consumer perspective, and we're comparing it to other products and services that we have access to, yeah, like this isn't good.
Well, and it's like the two live services I'm familiar with are Destiny and Apex Legends. And Destiny, I wasn't there from the beginning. I kind of jumped on fairly recently. And the game's in a good spot in terms of like regular content drops. But I've heard, the legends of how rough it was and the big droughts in between early on when they're still getting their footing. And I did see it firsthand with Apex. Like, I remember the first Apex Legends Battle Pass was just such a joke. And like now the seasons are bigger and crazier than ever. So it's like, there's definitely potential for Halo Infinite to get out of this mess and deliver on this promise.
It could. It's just sad when you just can take one clip, show this person saying this, and then the next clip saying, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So that's really unfortunate that had to happen, because it definitely didn't make them look good.
Well, then, like I said, like the silver linings are so low, because like the one thing they said is like, with this winter update, you get a 30-tier battle pass, which is totally free. There's no paid and free track.
But none of them have been... Like, you didn't have to pay for it. Well, if you want...
there's always like two tracks.
Oh, so you mean with this 30 route,
you get everything.
I don't have to like, oh, you unlock this, but if you paid, you would have actually had it.
It's all totally free, and it sounds like a nice little, I'm sorry, here's a gift now. But then you start looking a little closer.
And what do we get in those?
Looking just at what they've told us, it's a lot of Reach armor, which seems like it was cut from the Memories of Reach season.
Oh, it's the other stuff that should have been there that's now here now.
And then it gets worse because it's probably going to be like restricted to the Reach core, which is a paid item, which I don't have.
I thought that they were getting rid of cores.
No news on that.
But they did say that they're getting rid of them.
They got rid of core limitations on visor color.
Yes. Now I can have a different colored visor.
I do think that's something that will be conveniently a lower priority because there's more. It's not like they developed this and said, this is the best way to develop, customization for players. This is clearly a monetization scheme, which, hey, I can't judge them. It's a free-to-play game. You got to make money somehow. But it's like, because of that, they're not going to be able, they're not just going to undo it.
Well, no, it'll be too apparent and obvious. So they have to kind of do it subtly. But if it was something like Destiny, where you have different classes and they have different armor for those classes because they do different things, this would make perfect sense. But if they're all Spartans using the same weapons, and they have no difference, but this one's a spec ops versus this one's an infiltrator, it doesn't matter.
Titanfall 2 had something like that where different like you could be a robot or a man in some cases, but the robot was only a certain abilities were linked to that model, and that's so that at a distance you could see that silhouette and be like, that robot's going to be able to cloak.
Yes.
So there's a gameplay function to it. This is purely, how can we sell the same thing multiple times? Like, we'll lock armor coatings to customizations, like to cores, and we'll also lock them to individual weapons. So I just bought this thing. It's a color wheel or whatever, right? What did I just call it again? There's gosh, I already forget. Anyway, dumb color thing.
Yeah.
I'll buy one of those for my assault rifle. It should apply to everything. Because that's what happens in Destiny. I don't know if that was always the case, but it is now. Yeah. It's clearly, that's more consumer-based. It's like, great, and they're called shaders in Destiny.
It's restrictive customization.
Yes.
Now, what else did they talk about?
Well, that was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I should actually have the notes in front of me, but I think that was pretty much all of it for the winter update. Now, the March Season 3 update's a little more vague. They did mention that there's a new Big Team battle map, and a new 4v4 map, both developer made.
That's right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And
they look cool.
They look all right. The Big Team battle map, I would argue, looks a little too much like the 3 we already have. Like, we have 4, but it looks like the initial 3 a lot. It's just kind of another green, hilly area.
It's pretty. Well, you're right. It isn't that much different. I think they said something about there's going to be a little bit more focused on vehicle
it might play totally different. I'm talking strictly just like aesthetics. Like, it doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. It'd be cool if it, like, even if it was the same layout, but it was like a Covenant map or something we haven't had. Or I guess it's Banished, sorry.
There we go. That's the language.
Or like just something a little different, right? It could even be a Covenant map. Like, you can have different things from different periods.
It's like Episode 8 from Star Wars. What did they say? Like, the past must be erased.
I guess
there is no Halo.
But like
5.
Halo 4 had a New Mombasa being glassed map, so it's like they have this wide universe. You can put maps anywhere. Why are we getting the same just like green hills? Like the arena maps have been a little better.
It's mind numbing.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. I don't get it.
It might be, I don't know if it's a lack of creativity, but maybe it's a fear of creativity, because they've been, in the past, they've run into issues whenever they try to flex their own imaginations outside of the realms of what people think Halo should be.
And I don't know, it can't be that difficult. They've done it before. Other developers have done it before. Why are we only getting 2 maps? Really just one map for one mode and then another map for another mode. And by that time, they might have taken out a map because it didn't work out.
What? Almost a year since the last 2 real maps. Like, I granted, there are Forge maps, but even that seems half-assed, because Halo 5, we got Forge maps at launch, even though Forge wasn't included. It was like a tease of what Forge could do. And they regularly rotated in new maps. I didn't love how many there were, but like there really should be a Forge map kind of playlist. It's very social, maybe some very social modes tied to it.
I might be mistaken when I say this, but I think when it comes to maps, variety is a lot better than the quality, because you want variation. I mean,
It depends on the mode. If it's ranked, you want to be absolutely fair.
Well, sure, yeah.
But just like, social Slayer, yeah, throw Forge in everywhere.
Well, yeah, because you want to have fun. Like, you want some variation in what you do and where you are and the weapons and where they're located. But if it's just like, oh, there's really 2 really good maps, it's like, well, they start getting boring because you just keep playing the same maps over and over. There's that element of variety and excitement about you're somewhere new, you have to learn, and you can, you play better on different maps.
I guess I'm a crazy person. As long as there's like enough of them, I'm pretty happy. Like, if you give me, I think, 10 arena maps, I'll be pretty happy with that.
I don't think we have that, though.
No, not yet. I think within a couple of years, it won't take long for Halo to be content complete to me because I'm so limited in what I like. I like ranked Slayer. I don't mind ranked objective. I'd like, like I said, about 10 maps. I don't need Griffball. I don't need Infection. I don't need all these extended modes, but I think they should be there for people who do like them.
Yeah, of course.
So personally, I'll be pretty happy with Infinite, I think, fairly soon, if they keep on this track. But I do see the problem for everyone else.
Well, it's just too slow, some games are already made in that amount of time, and I just...
Well, this is on top of the 6 years they developed it. Problematic 6 years, I'm sure, but...
Yeah, it's really... I'm getting to that point where I haven't had this happen before, where franchises I really like are now having problems. They used to be like banger after banger after banger, that's great. But now it's like, what's happening? Why is it not working anymore?
Well, maybe this will change your tune, man. Also included in the March update for Season 3 is the Bandit Rifle. And I think it was called the Shroud something equipment. Whoa. So they're adding what is essentially, at least as far as the leaks have shown us, it looks like a DMR without scope.
Okay.
And then the Shroud... Frick, what's it called? Anyway, it's like a shroud ball.
Oh, the ball that you can throw grenades into and blow someone up in there, but you can't see what's in it.
Yeah, it's like a future smoke bomb.
It's kind of cool. It will change the dynamic a little bit, but we'll see.
I think they're both great ideas. They're just not like, hype machine ideas. It's
if that was coming out like next week, then yeah, it'd be kind of exciting. But it's like, guess what's coming out next year?
Yeah.
To the game that's out right now, which has not much. It's like... Yeah, okay. Sounds
even
great.
That bandit gun, it could be a game changer. People have theorized that might be to because apparently I'm not a big PC guy, but apparently battle rifle is easier on controller thanks to the auto aim because that's the recoil. So control players have advantage. At least that's my understanding. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But the bandit rifle is going to be a one-shot semi-automatic, right? So it's going to be a lot closer to the Halo 5 Magnum. Possibly. It right now, the early builds we've seen have Bloom, which makes it further, closer to the sidekick.
Yeah.
But it's like, we don't know, people have been judging this early, these leaks, right? But to me, it's like, okay, this leak, who knows how old this version is, how much they've tweaked it or changed it since then.
Yeah.
So we won't know until they show us an official trailer, like exactly what it can do. But it could be our main starting weapon in ranked going forward. So it could be a game changer.
That could be neat. I mean, then everyone has to kind of adapt to this new way of playing, and that could be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's we don't know everything. The problem is they've given us these breadcrumbs, and then they've said, okay, well, we may not get these breadcrumbs right away.
But that's March, right?
That's March. And that's maybe. It's all subject to change.
In my head, I'm thinking, just take that out of my brain. Remind me when it's, March, There's more exciting things that could be coming up well before then.
Oh, yeah, there's entire games launching before we get the bandit rifle.
Wow. What a statement.
Let's not end on this dour note, though.
There's Forge.
There's been the first of, I think, 3 or 4 Forge videos we're going to do. This one just focused on the basics, new features in terms of building and such. I'm told you didn't watch much of it.
Oh, man, it was so boring,
Not a Forge guy. I'm not hardcore Forge. I like it enough. I've spent a lot of time in Halo 5 Forge especially. I thought it was a great step forward. It's finally something I'm kind of curious to play with. And the Infinite one seems to be, I would say, improving in many ways with one really big thing. Yeah. It doesn't seem like that, the undo button.
Yes, you were telling me about that.
You make a mistake, you undo it. Scaling of objects, including the depth of them. So you can turn an object into a pancake and just use its textures to kind of decorate something else. Applying materials to different parts of an object. They had this giant grunt and they were applying different textures to its armor, but then they could also do apparently to its skin as well. Lots of cool stuff. They didn't really get into like the coding and stuff yet, which I'm told is way more advanced. That's something I won't be getting into. I'm not smart enough for all that. I like building a map. It looks like there's gonna be more options than ever to make it how you want, and to make it pretty as well, because the object count went from, I think Halo 5 had about 1,500 to about 7,000.
Oh,
it's a big jump.
Yeah.
And the way they explained it was that it's certain objects can now be inert. So as opposed to being an active object the game has to think about, it's more just map geometry. It's just it's lifeless. And that cuts down the processing. So ideally, because my big concern is like, okay, you can go from 1,000 objects to 7,000. Sounds good, but what about the frame rate? You know, what happens when we start filling per maps?
Is it going to work? Is it going to function?
They claim it's going to work, and you have to remember these are all different teams within 343. And at least in terms of Halo 5, the Forge team has never let us down yet.
This could be their time.
This could be their big moment, or it could be their actual big moment.
Yeah.
They could in theory save the game.
Well, yeah, because now that I'm thinking about it, if we have some more maps made by them, then this could really bring to life the gameplay.
And as long as 343 like knows what they're doing, like, and they really take advantage of the community.
Yeah.
And like, you know, they could rotate this stuff in weekly, monthly, whatever works, right? But in the past, they haven't been the quickest on this kind of thing. And like that, they could really drop the ball in that regard.
Well, they might not utilize Forge to its fullest to enhance the experience. They might be just getting it done because it's a feature that's supposed to be there.
And then, it's close to being done anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll have to see. I mean, it could really, again, make things a lot better, but when is that? March?
Well, Forge comes out in November.
Oh, okay.
So its custom file browser comes out in March. That's the big... Honestly, that's the worst thing on there. It's definitely not the worst thing on the roadmap, but it's for me, it was a big disappointment because I think those things should be closer. I don't know if they have to overlap necessarily, but it does seem like, it's 3 months. It's a big 4 months, sorry.
Like we said earlier, to give people an opportunity to play around with it. Maybe myself, because now, I don't have to just... I can just rely on anybody else making stuff. It's like it's only you really that can access it and share it with your friends. So it's a little bit more private until... It's
just tricky because with Forge in Halo 5, a lot of people didn't play with it as much because like it was a big feature in 3 and Reach especially. And 5 was the strongest Forge, most powerful Forge at the time. But a lot of people couldn't get into it who used to like it because it seemed too complicated. And it definitely has a learning curve that wasn't there before. But like it's like with any kind of program on a computer, it's like the more features you put in it, the more someone has to kind of like get into it and learn it.
The learning curve.
So like if your interest is only casual, you might be able to put some blocks down, have some fun, but you're not gonna make anything really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because I remember when me and my buddy were like doing Forge stuff, we were like, I'd spend hours and hours and hours and hours on just one map. Like I easily like 30, 40 hours.
And we love that map.
Why? Hey, I made a handful, man.
We're talking. Well, Isle Delfino was good.
Yeah, Hotel Delfino.
Hotel Delfino.
Yeah,
and then there was the snow base.
Yeah, I had it was a
like cabins.
Outpost. It was called. It was kind of like a satellite dish in between a bunch of like wooden cabins. I might try to recreate
and
that.
The launch site.
Launch site was that was my first one. That was a goofball map.
Yeah, but those were fun, and I really hope that those experiences we had in Halo 5 with Forge will be even better in Infinite. I hope that could really make it enjoyable.
We'll have a lot of fun as long as the technical lag and desync that apparently also affect custom games. That's the big thing. 343 just fix. Like get better servers. I don't know what you have to do. I don't know how it works, but no other Halo game had this issue with desync. Like if it was there, I didn't notice.
And ideally, if it's not good, wait longer then. Don't ship it to us, and then we're kind of wasting our time, or we're disappointed because there's nothing more disappointing than playing a game and it's like there's something wrong with the game, and then you're trying to play it and it's just like it's broken.
Like this has been educational, man. I've never heard the word desync until Halo Infinite came out. Like I was like, what's a little lag? It seems like that guy could just fire faster than me. Like there were things in Halo 5 I questioned, but I could never know for sure. Halo Infinite,
fully present.
You see it. It's like I am behind this wall, and like sometimes it's like maybe there's another guy shooting me. Probably not.
And that, or sometimes you get future sight where you see your own death before it happens.
Yeah, that's a great clip.
It's because Spartans are so advanced they can see their own death before it happens.
Yeah,
It's a feature, man. It's not an error. It's all intentional.
I saw a clip the other day. A guy was remote controlling a warthog.
Yeah.
Like he was kind of moving his camera around. Like, he was standing with his gun, but he was like looking around, and the warthog was like driving, like where he was looking. But nobody was shooting at him or the warthog, probably because they didn't exist. Like because they're so desynced out from the rest of the world.
Oh,
like
man.
the game thinks he's in the warthog and doesn't even know either of them are on the map.
Oh, dude, there was a time when I was playing, like when it first came out for multiplayer. I basically picture my sight, the HUD, was like in the wall. So I could see like just a portion of the map, and like just like a camera does. And then I could move my Spartan, but just from that view.
Yeah.
And shoot. Yeah.
Like Resident Evil game, you got a fixed camera angle.
Yeah, except it was like in a terrible position. Like it's just incredible how glitchy it can get. It's like, it's not quite a PUBG level or anything like that, but it would be kind of fun if it turned out that way, actually.
Well, we can hope it only gets better from here, but who knows?
It could get even crazier.
Who knows what the future holds for Halo Infinite? But if there are any big revelations, you can guarantee that we'll be here to talk about it at some point.
Yep. The good, the bad, and the Halo Infinite.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, see you guys.